I'm Rui. As you might have noticed, I'm not neither English native speaker, not Italian native speaker. I'm Portuguese, and I come from the office that we have in Dublin. So a weird mix, but here I am. So the objective for today and what I want to show you is what we have in terms of web experience management now. I will touch in some of the things that Shema and even George already mentioned of the current status of WEM, and also what we are predicting and we are previewing also, and we are preparing for 7.2 and beyond. Let me tell you that I have one of the hardest tasks now, two hardest tasks, so I'm between you and lunch, so that will be the hardest task. And I have the task of showing you things that are still not there, they don't exist, but it's a work in progress. And with your feedback, with your help also, we will get there, okay? So let me first explain you the vision, what we have, where we are at the moment, and where we want to go first, next. So, Chema, this is for you. I had to put a picture of a cat, okay? So the vision that we have, and Jorge mentioned this a little bit earlier, what we want to do in terms of product is to make the development in the Liferay platform very accessible and familiar for everyone. And we also want to empower our business users to be able to create these great digital experiences, but also this balance that we need to have between the tools and the technology that we allow our developers and that we give to our developers need to be balanced in terms of also the capabilities that we empower these business users. So for that, and for this vision, what we tried on 7.1 is to have a better support for front-end technologies, and you saw that from the talk from Chema, by providing also a very well-crafted APIs, the bundlers, the connection with the workflow that these front-end developers already have, and give the flexibility to everyone, to any developer that wants to work his already workflow into the Liferay platform. And a theme that Jorge mentioned also is how can we, besides that, how can we empower the business people to create these great digital experiences in a very easy way, a drag and drop interface. How can we do that so they don't need the help of IT in some of these tasks, and we can leave IT to handle other tasks that are more important for their role. Okay, so we started laying this foundation in even a little bit before 7.1, but on 7.1 you see this more and more in terms of getting these tools, the right tools for the right personas, the right individuals that are using it. One of the first things also, and Chema mentioned this, and he showed a video of the Npm Build Tools that we have created that very easily on a command line interface. You can just build one app in the technology that you want. I will just put a video here. So, play. Okay, never mind. So you saw that by running a very simple yo command, you can identify. Okay, now it loaded. So in a very simple way, you just type yo and the name of the bundle or the project that you want. And very easily, you can pick and choose if you want a React project or a Vue or any Angular or any other type of project. And by just specifying some of the characteristics of the application, you just build that application. We built all the boilerplate code, all the code needed, that you just add the innovation, the logic there, okay? So this is a very simple way that we are helping, in this case, developers in maintaining their workflow as a front-end developer, but by integrating all these tools, all these tasks that they want into the Liferay environment or the Liferay ecosystem. Okay, just move this forward. Okay, see that all the code, as you saw before, all the code is generated, and you just go into your favorite IDE or editor, and you just change whatever you want. Okay. Okay. So this was more towards developers. When you see some of these innovations that we have included in 7.1, you see also more business-oriented functionalities. Functionalities more towards the business user, where they very easily can create a content page. Very easily they can drag and drop some components and build a landing page, or even drag a form and build a form inside of one of these content pages. Okay. For this, I'm not showing you a video, or I'm just jumping straight into an instance of Liferay that I have running on my machine, and I will just show you how you can do this. A very important thing that I will show you is all the HTML, all the fragments and the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code is normal code that you can get from the Bootstrap sites, available everywhere. So when people ask us, are there examples out there of fragments? You just go to any of these websites, any of these pages that present these types of content, and you can get a lot of examples. Okay, so here I'm just adding a new page. I can choose if it's a widget page. Basically, these are the old paradigm, or the way that we build a very dynamic portlet-oriented page. And we have here content pages. So, example. Okay, and now I have, as a business user, I have here some collection of fragments that I can just drag and drop and build my own page. Okay. These fragments, these collections here, are provided by my development team, by my web developers. They build these packages, and I just use them as I want to launch a new product, or as I want to contact my users for a specific campaign or a specific promotion that I'm running. So in this case, I will just add, okay, I will have here on this cool thing, this one, okay, very simple one, and I will have here a carousel for Netflix, okay. So very engaging, very dynamic. And I will show you the code behind this is very simple HTML, JavaScript, and CSS code. So very easily we can just drag and drop these components, these personas. In this case, the business people can just build this page in a very fast and easy way. But if we want to go into the fragments, okay, and here are the different collections and the different fragments that I have. For example, if I go to this one, and you saw this one previously, you see that you have the HTML code, CSS, and JavaScript if needed. I can also add specific tags, for example, for the titles, or for the placeholders of text, or even the images if I want to change the image, or for forms. So I can change these tags, these specific tags that we provide documentation on, for the web developers to provide their business folks with the capabilities of changing the title, changing the text, changing images if they want. So basically build their own page. And there you can you can add this flexibility of editing and customizing all these fragments to the business people. Okay? Another thing that we provide is, after a while, when you build all these pages, when you use or reuse all these fragments, you start having a lot of instances of these fragments spread all over your pages. So one thing that we have is you have the capability of viewing the usages of all the fragments, okay? And for example, imagine that you want to push a new version of a specific fragment, or you change something on a specific fragment. So you can check every page that is using that fragment, and you can push a new version to that page automatically, okay? So one thing that you can do is you can propagate, for example, if you change one of these fragments, you can propagate to every page, or you can just pick and choose the ones that you want and propagate just to those, okay? Okay. So this way, these business users can build these pages or can create these pages at scale, so they can just launch a new product, reuse all these components, and very easily put together these content-driven pages, and they don't need IT to build these things over and over again, or ask them for building these different components and deploying a new page. Okay? So, but this was just the beginning. This was what's already available on 7.1. So we wanted to go even further and having a truly decoupled CMS. So we are in the process of completely redesigning our RESTful APIs. Okay, I believe there's one talk about this subject. Attend, please, if you can. So in terms of content delivery, content management, authentication or authorization, we are using the latest standards for this. We are also using, in terms of the navigation through the APIs, we are using hypermedia, and also in terms of querying the APIs and very easily building your own consumption. We are using GraphQL as the way to query those APIs, okay? So, like I mentioned in the beginning, one of the major challenges that we have, especially, and as most of you know us, we are a very technical company. So one of the big challenges that we have is keeping this balance between all the technical, cool stuff that we do for developers, for the community, and this bit more business-oriented experience that we want to give to our business users, okay? So moving forward on 7.2 and on later versions, we are looking more, again, continue to provide the tools to the engineers and to the people, to the developers that led us exactly where we are now, but also providing more tools to this business crowd. So one of the first tools that we have, this is still a work in progress, okay? I don't know if the name will continue to be this even. So the first tool that we have is Fragment Builder, okay? So you saw HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but that's still very technical, right? Or as technical as it can be. For the business people, they don't like that, okay? They want a very easy tool to build, even if they can, to build these fragments, okay? So what we are doing and what we are thinking is having inside of the portal, having an interface where you can specify and you can create the fragment, okay, in a very easy way, a very drag and drop way. You can start creating the heading, you can start, okay, I want a picture here, I want a footer there, I want to define the styling of the different areas, and very easily what happens in the background, as you might have guessed, is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so this will be a tool for the business-oriented people to just build these types of fragments and also help in this process of creating these blocks, these building blocks where they can very easily deploy to other business people, for example. Okay, so I can specify a heading, I can edit this element in a very easy way. I'm just doing everything that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript does. But as you see, it's a very user-friendly interface, a very business-oriented interface. Okay, so this is one of the new things that we are thinking. This is still, as I mentioned, a work in progress. Also, give us your feedback in terms of, is this a good feature or not? Should we develop this further or not? So that's really important for us. Another editor, another tool that we are creating that's still in the lab, let's call it, is Style Editor. Okay? With this, we again go a step further with the fragment editor, then the fragment editor, and here you can basically define the style of every element in the page, okay, in that fragment. So you can say, okay, I have this color, I have this font, I have this height or this width. I can pretty much define all the different elements in terms of styling of a page. And again, with a very easy interface, I can build this fragment and I can generate the HTML, the JavaScript, and the CSS. Okay? So choosing a color, it's very simple as building it on the interface. Okay? Another important topic besides creating the page, identifying the different elements, creating the fragments, it's also how can I personalize this page, okay? So one thing that we are adding, and this is something also that that you will have on a talk later on Analytics Cloud also, is how can we bring all the predictive analytics from Analytics Clouds and even some of the things that we have from target audience that we already have into the creation of these components and to the creation of these fragments. So very easily, again, I will be able to create a campaign, and also I will be able to define, okay, on these elements that you see on the screen, here are the elements that belong to this campaign, and here are the elements that belong to a specific user segment. And as you see here, also from this image, you'll get some connection or a connection with Analytics Cloud in terms of, okay, these are the segments that were generated by Analytics Cloud based, as Jorge mentioned this morning, based on the way that the user navigated through my page, or based also on the way that he interacted with the different assets, or the way where he came from also. So based on all those things that he mentioned, I will be able to generate the segment, and I will also be able to import or automatically generate a segment inside of DXP. From that, I will be able to say this fragment will only be shown to that segment. Okay, so I can personalize this experience to the user exactly on that specific segment. Okay, and I will tie that in with a campaign that can run for a specific time. I will get analytics on that campaign. So this is also, as you are seeing, the tie-in of some of these products that were presented in the morning. So Analytics Cloud, DXP, Commerce also will be included on this. So we are tying more and more these products together so you can use these products and you can leverage each one of them through your digital experience. Okay? So these are some of the things that we are preparing going on 7.2 and forward. So commerce integration, as you saw, it's very important when you're building a storefront. It's very important to understand the segments, personalize some of the content, personalize some of the fragments and interactions that we have with the buyer in this case. And we are integrating that, or we are bringing that also from commerce. Also, a very important change, user or audience targeting has moved now to the core of the product, so it's part of the core. It's not a module that you get from the marketplace. So by bringing this from a marketplace module into the core, it helps us also to be integrated with everything that happens inside of Liferay. So it will be an integral component of everything that happens there. So we are also thinking of machine learning recommendation, of course, third-party based recommendation, so you can plug in an external engine to personalize and recommend that. So, by the way, if some of you are going to DEF CON, there's a couple of talks also regarding hyper-personalization with external engines. Okay, so check those out. And also, in terms of campaigns and creating goal-based or goal-driven analytics, defining goals and see how everything goes towards that goal. Cross-site campaigns also. A/B testing, the famous A/B testing also, it's something that we will be including in the product, based also on machine learning, and of course, much more. So as you can see, this is an area that we are exploring a lot, that we are investing a lot. And it's an area that, like I mentioned in the beginning, that we need to balance the tools that we provide, front-end developers or people that are developing, developers, basically. We need to provide those tools, but we also need to keep this balance for the business people and provide more and more tools, because we know that we lack there, more and more tools so the business people can very easily drag and drop interface, can build their fragments, can build their pages, their content pages, and build their own experiences. Also, having IT managing all that and in a central localized location. Okay, I think, yeah. Thank you.